welcome to Art with Dianne Mahaffee. I am glad you're in the studio today, and I've got a new project to show you. And if you like sunflowers and you like clay, you will love this lesson. I want to show you what the final results will be. This is one of my sunflower plates that Gwen Lazenby's Sunflower Fields, many acres of sunflower fields, last summer inspired me to make the sunflower plates. I also make bowls too, but that's the last plate, and I have no more bowls to show you that are finished, but I have this one that's still wet. You can see the foot ring, you can see the texture inside, and this one is drier, it's lighter in color. The foot ring, the textures in the center, I like to vary them to several different patterns. Here's another one. I make the stamps that stamp the pattern on here in some cases. And we are ready to get busy, so get that clay out and let's get busy. Okay, we are ready to get started. Now you will need some spacer sticks, which are, these are paint stirring sticks. They need to be about 1/4 inch thick. You'll need a piece of clay. And I'm using clay that's called brownstone, but you can use any kind of clay. I've done this with all kinds. And this is our goal, again, for today. Now this one's not fired, and this is a bowl with a foot ring. And after you get it fired and you put those beautiful glazes on there, then you can use it and eat out of it or serve candy in it or whatever you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to start flattening this slab of clay. And a slab is a flat piece of clay. All right, now don't forget to turn it, and you can't do this on a table, a smooth tabletop, unless it has a cloth on it. And you can do it on cardboard, but cardboard doesn't last through maybe making one plate, but it'll work in a pinch. But notice how I keep flattening it, rotating it until it quits moving, because when it quits moving, I'll know it is the thickness of my strips, my wooden strips. All right, it's just about through moving. All right, maybe one more time. No, it's still moving. Now it's done. All right, so it is the size of the thickness of the stirring strips. So now I'm done with the stirring strips. I'll just put them away. Now I made a template out of a piece of cardboard. This is going to be the center of my bowl. All right, it is 6 inches across, just in case you're wondering. And I'm going to lay it here, but I'm going to start working on my petals. All right, you can use real leaves if you want to, lay them down vein side down and use it. But what I do is I cut out I just got me a piece of clay, squeezed it like that, flattened it out, and then when it got leather hard, I carved out that shape right there. So I have my very own stamper. All right, so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start in my 12 o'clock position, and then I'll go down here in my 3 o'clock position and my 9 o'clock position. And if you're not used to a clock like that, because you've always used digital clocks, think about north, south, east, west. All right, now I'm going to go in between that and just keep working my way around so it's sort of even. But don't stress over getting it too even, because you know how nature is. It can be random. All right, I'm going all the way around. Look at those petals, just from a simple little block of clay that I carved and it didn't take me but a few minutes to carve it. But then after I carved it, I fired it. And I didn't put glaze on it because then it would stick. So it's just bisque ware. And as far as I know, nobody's ever made a sunflower plate or bowl quite like this. I made this lesson up. But possibly somewhere there may be some very similar. All right, after you do that, now I know where my center is. All right, now I made another stamper. I just got a piece of clay, rolled it into a long gradating strip, and wound it up and fired it. And then I was having trouble stamping with it because I didn't have a little handle on it like this one. So I glued it to a wooden dowel. And now it's my stamper. So I'm going to just start stamping, because look at the beautiful texture I get in the middle. And I also have a different stamper that I do this one with. So I just like a lot of different patterns in the middle. That's a honeycomb one that actually you can buy that one. All right, but I kind of like this one because I've been using it a lot lately. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle and just start pressing. Make sure they're connecting with each other. And I rock it back and forth a little bit. All right, go right up to the edge. So when you get that, just come in there and do some things like this. Okay, so anyway, continue with my stamper that I designed. And I'm almost done with this. Now don't forget right in here, because I think it looks best to go right up to the petals. All right, so after you do that, you're ready for your needle tool. Now I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm not going to be real picky. I'm going to actually go a little bit beyond where my stamper, and you'll see why in a minute. All right, so let's get rid of this, which you'll put in the scrap bag. All right, so I have this. Now you want to take care of your craftsmanship. See how it looks all cookie cutter punched out? Well, you would never want your plate to be like that. You want it to go into a nice gentle point. So you simply do this. Push it inward. So now you might think, well, how do you get it to have that curve and with the foot ring on the bottom? I'm going to show you that. Now if you're making plates, you don't need to do that at all. It has no foot ring, although I could do it. But they make these forms out of plaster, which I have a few in the studio. But what I really like are my dough bowls. They are so awesome. So I use those most of the time. So I've got different sizes. So I think maybe I'll use this one. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull this off. Always use two hands and never force it. Now, okay, so I'm going to put this right here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to put it over this hump, the hump mold, and then I can work on my foot. Okay, make sure it's centered. All right, after you do that, you are ready to make the foot ring. All right, so I have this little jar lid, which is about the right size I need. So I'm going to use the needle tool and very lightly just etch me that area. Use my scratch tool, because if you want to add clay, if you want to add wet clay to wet clay, you need to scratch or score and slip. And slip means this mixture of clay and water mixed together that acts like glue. And the scratches acts like Velcro, because you don't want the foot ring to come off. All right, I need to roll a coil. So I'm going to get some of this scrap clay and squeeze it into a sausage link size piece and coil it. C-O-I-L, coil. All right, my hand's going back and forth. And I'll get a long, skinny rope. It's a little bit too long. Don't need that much. Now, here it's getting thinner. I'm keeping my eye on it because I want it to be an even thickness from one side to the other. All right, I need it to be a little thinner. Keep rolling it. And you have to roll it on something porous, like a piece of sheetrock. A lot of people like to work on sheetrock, or this table has canvas on it, or you can just get a big piece of thick cloth. Don't get any cloth that's stretchy. Try to get cloth that has no stretch to it. All right, so I'm ready now to scratch. This, or score it. Put slip on it too, because I certainly don't want the foot ring to come off. Put my bowl back up here. I'm going to get me a good start on this. All right, you want to put scratches to scratches. So I'm looking to make sure I'm putting the scratches on the scratches. All right, now the best way to cut that off right there, I need to turn that around. Okay, is to put that straight up and down on top. Give it a little cut at an angle. Take that away, and then it fits. And then blend it out so you don't have a line there. Take care of your craftsmanship. All right, so I have my foot ring. I'm going to sign my name, Dianne Mahaffee. And if you print, a lot of time it's more legible than if you write in cursive, because then you get too many clay crumbs. All right, and then you just leave it here until it's dry. Take it off, and it'll be a dark color because it'll be wet, but don't set it up until it's leather hard, firming up, which might take a day. And don't put a fan blowing on it, because if you do that, it makes slabs warp. So just let it dry naturally. Thank you for watching Art with Dianne Mahaffee. Hope you enjoyed this video.